Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title, I have some holsters to share with you here today. These are coming from CYA Supply Company and they are very affordable. So I'm hoping that they kind of meet my requirements for a decent holster because it could be a good option for you guys. Real quick backstory, CYA is a veteran-owned company. They were founded in San Antonio, Texas about 10 years ago. It was two guys in a garage, and they have grown to where they now have their products like in Academy Sports. They sell on Amazon, Optics Planet, and a few other places as well. So if you're interested in learning about these holsters, stick around. I'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, use them for a week or two, and then give some thoughts on them. So first thing I'll say is that they do have really nice packaging. The models that they've sent me is called the base, and these are the optic ready versions. They do have the base that don't have the optic cup. We got a minimalist IWB holster for deep concealment. It's designed to be worn appendix, strong side, cross draw. As you can see, this one is in a carbon fiber. Obviously show you that better once we get out of the package. They do offer a lifetime warranty. Looks like there's a QR code that you can scan there. This one fits belts up to 1.5 inches. I'll have to look to see if they have any larger clips or not for like 1.75. But let's get them out of the packages so we can kind of see better what we're working with here. That is the carbon fiber one. There's an email address. Let's get this one out. This is for my Smith & Wesson M&P Shield Plus. And then I also got one here for the SIG P365. And this one is just a plain black. And just so YouTube knows, both these guns have been safety checked before the start of this video. There's no ammo anywhere around. And as you can see, both guns are clear. So I said earlier that I had two requirements in a holster. The first is that it has to completely cover the trigger guard area. I don't like there to be any type of gap or a chance of any type of clothing or anything to get in there. So we'll be checking that here in a minute. And then I also like it to have really good retention. I don't want to be running or rolling or whatever it might be and have to worry about my gun possibly falling out. Now if it has adjustable retention, that's even better, but it doesn't necessarily have to be adjustable. It just has to be really good retention. And a third thing that I really like is a high sweat shield. It's not a requirement, but I do like it, so we'll look at that as well. Give you guys some up close looks here. We have like a rubber bushing in here, so this is going to have adjustable retention. Got their logo here, kind of with the Gadsden flag almost there. Up here it will say this is for the Shield Plus. Let's take a look at this other one here. P365. We have very smooth edges. These are not made out of Kydex. It's another thermoplastic. I'm not sure if it's pronounced BOLTARON or if it's BOLTARON, but that's what they're using, but it's still the 0.08 thickness. But everything that I've read on this BOLTARON is that it's basically a superior type of plastic. It's better like in high heat and really cold conditions, chemical resistance, drop impact type stuff. It's just overall it's a much better plastic. The only downside to this BOLTARON is that you can't put a lot of the intricate patterns and designs. So I think CYA has 5 colors that it's available in. And other than the carbon fiber, the rest of them are fairly like the plain look to them, which is fine. So I mentioned the adjustable retention earlier. It also has adjustable cant. I typically carry appendix and I like to have a 0 degree. And so basically what we'll do is loosen the screw right here, and then this will turn. I'll try to show you guys that in a minute, but we can actually bring this down to where the clip is more of a vertical position. Does have that high sweat shield. They basically have tried using like as little material as they can. That way it reduces printing and just makes it more comfortable. I will say between the two that they've sent me here, which is the exact same base, the one for the P365 looks like it has a really high sight channel there, in case you were running like suppressor height sights or whatever, but it looks like it's taller than what the one for the Shield Plus is. We'll see once we get the guns in them. All right, let's go ahead and check the fitment. We'll look at that trigger guard area and then also the retention. We'll see if we have that real audible snap that's always nice to hear. So as you can see, that is a great fitment. Goes right along the trigger guard area. Everything is covered. Magazine release is covered, so you don't have to worry about that like bumping into you. We do have a full high sweat shield cut perfectly along the edge of the slide there. None of that's going to stick up higher. That is made really well. Out of the box, let's just check retention. No rattle at all. Hold it in different places so you know I'm not squeezing it anywhere. Now, again, I can adjust this tension here, but let's see how easy that is to pull out. I may need to adjust that a little bit. Overall, that fitment is really good. Trying to see what the sight looks like down there, just to kind of see how much space is there. But yeah, I really like that. Let's check out the P365 here next. Really good snap on that one as well. Yeah, you can see how much higher those sights are, or the sight channel. That one's really tight. I'm definitely gonna have to adjust that. If some of you are watching this and this is your first holster that you're buying, the screw right here is how you're gonna adjust the tension. It was a little bit too tight on that P365. So just take a screwdriver and turn it counterclockwise. And sometimes just kind of like what your preference is. You know, just do a little bit at a time. And I always use the sweat shield as a thumb brake to kind of help me draw. And you don't want to turn it too much to where the gun could potentially fall out, but you want it to where it's easy enough for you to be able to remove it. As you can see, I have a red dot here on the Shield Plus, and these are already cut for an optic. So if you were, considering putting a red dot on your pistol, I would get the holster that already has the optic cut. I mentioned earlier that it has adjustable cant. You can have either a 15-degree cant, which is what it's in right now, or a 0 degree. Unfortunately, there are 2 holes, so you can't have like in between. You couldn't have 8 or 9 degrees or something that's, partway in between. It has to be 15 or 0. If you are someone who likes to run something in between, you probably could easily just Dremel that out to make it just one slot there. Might void your warranty though. All right, I have that one switched to 0 degrees and this one's still set at 15, so hopefully you can see the difference there. And in real use, this is kind of the difference between having the 15 degree versus the 0 degree. The 15 degree is going to allow more room between your, basically the top of your belt and your grip. It can definitely aid or make it easier when drawing, but it does tend to push the grip up a little bit higher. It could print a little bit more. A 0 degree, again, which is what I usually wear for appendix, does drop it down a little bit lower, but it does conceal a little bit better as well. And kind of speaking of those clips, you can see here that it is a plastic clip, but it goes really tight up against the holster itself. There's basically no space. So even if you wear a slightly thinner belt, you shouldn't have to worry about it coming off or anything. Plus you can see that there's like an angle that it goes back up. So it kind of like goes underneath your belt just ever so slightly. But then there's a big lip right here to make it easy to put it on and take it off. All right, guys, try to give you an idea of what this holster looks like on. I purposely wore a light colored shirt to see if there's any printing at all. I'm wearing the one with the Shield Plus first. Again, 0 degree cant in the appendix position. We'll kind of see how easy it is to take the entire thing off. Put it back on. Very easy. All right, now we'll see about actually drawing the pistol out. This is a little bit lower ride height than what some of my other holsters are, and I may have to use that 15 degree cant because that is a little bit tight between my belt and the grip there. So let's check out the P365 that has the 15 degrees still in the appendix position. Again, I can get a whole lot more fingers in there to be able to draw out. I have the P365 in about the 4 o'clock position right now. Pretty much zero printing. Even if I pull this shirt like really tight, almost no printing at all. Even sitting, I feel like it's concealed really well. It's very comfortable. All right, guys, I've been carrying the Shield Plus in this CYA holster for the past week or so. And overall, I really like them, especially for the price that they are. They seem to be made really well. They meet all my criteria as far as cover and trigger guard, high sweat shield, great retention. Again, I appendix carry. I didn't notice any type of like hot spots that were like digging into my groin area or anything like that. Anytime you're wearing a plastic type of holster, you're gonna feel it. It's not uncomfortable at all, especially when you're standing or walking or anything like that. When you sit, yeah, you feel a little something there, but again, it's not uncomfortable. I guess if I had any negatives to say, it would be that when you're in the 0 degrees, it does sit really low. I had a really hard time getting my hands around the grip. I also don't like that you have to choose between 15 and 0. I just kind of wish that was an opening there, that then you could just rotate this clip and stop anywhere you wanted. I mentioned it earlier that this is set up for a 1.5 inch belt. I could not find on their website anywhere that they offered a 1.75 inch. So if you use a wider belt, you might have to get it your own clip for it. This is a holster that I have from another company for this Shield Plus. And these are just about the smallest holsters that I can find. And this is the CYA one. And the CYA might even be a little bit narrower as far as the width. But if not, they're pretty much identical. Very, very small. However, on the one for the P365, that sight channel is really, really high. Again, here's one from another company. I'll try to put them as close together as I can. And you can just see how much extra material kind of sticks out on that CYA one. So I do kind of wish they would bring that down a little bit. I don't know many people that are even running suppressors on P365s. But yeah, that could probably be half of that and kind of lose half of that material there. And another thing, if you don't care for those plastic clips and you like the DCC, like the monoblock style, they sell those on CYA's website. They have the Altic clip and a few other accessories as well. So at the time of me making this video, these holsters are available on CYA's website for just under 40 bucks, and they're also available on Amazon for the same price. They have them in left hand and right hand, and if you have an Amazon account, you're going to get free shipping and 1-day delivery on them. And it looks like the carbon fiber version is just a few dollars more. And I think the carbon fiber only comes in black, but the other ones, again, you can get them in those 5 different colors. And I'll leave links to CYA's website and to these Amazon listings down in the video description if you guys want to find out more about the holsters or pick one up. And they haven't offered me any type of discount code, but if they do, I'll put that down in the description as well. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it.